Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see how to identify file details on a particular file. Let's open up an image, which was previously done. Add evidence. Go to next. Choose the file you want to open and then finish. If you haven't seen the video of how to create an image, watch video number 4 in the basic page, and I explain how to create an image of a USB drive. Okay. There are 4 panes in FTK Imager, as you're all aware of. I've told you in the previous videos. This is called tree pane, which you could see your image here, and every time when you click your partition, it expands its branches. So that's why it's called a tree pane. This is a table pane, where every time when you click, you can see the content of everything in the table view, table pane. Sorry. This is a view pane. If you choose a content from the table pane, you can view the hex and binaries, ASCII, everything in the view pane. And this is the property pane, which is your best friend. I'll tell you in detail. So there are 3 partitions in this image, FAT32 and 2 NTFS. Let me quickly explain what are FAT32 files and NTFS files. FAT32, which stands for File Allocation Table 32 format files, and it is an older file system that's not as efficient as NTFS and doesn't support as big a feature set, but it does offer greater compatibility with other operating systems. New Technology File System, also known as NTFS, is the modern file system. Windows like to use it by default. When you install Windows, it formats your drive with NTFS file system. NTFS has file and partition size limits that are so theoretically huge you won't run up against them. NTFS first appeared in consumer versions of Windows with Windows XP, though it originally debuted with Windows NT. Now that's out of the way, let's crack on with the file. Now let's pick a random file from the partition 2 NTFS. Okay, let's go for downloaded. Let's pick the WinX. Okay, let's pick the style.css file. When you click the style.css file, you can see the content of the file in the view pane in a hex format. You can view the file in text format or in hex by clicking the little glasses on top left of the tree pane. Like if you click text, it changes into text format or the hex. I'll leave it to hex for now. Now you may have some questions regarding what is the file name, or the file length, or when the file was created, or such as is the file resident. It's not as complicated as it looks. The property pane here, which is your friend to identify everything. So there are multiple ways to identify things. Like you can see the name here, and you can see the size is 1 byte. And if you just extend it, it's a regular file, and you can see the modified date. More or less, you could see the same one here, which makes it really easy. The style.css is the name. It's a regular file. File size you can identify here. Physical file size, which is available, which is 464. The date accessed, the date modified, like everything is here. But what if someone asked whether if it's a resident file or if what is a master file table record number? Where would you find it? Again, go back to the property pane, scroll down, and you can see all in NTFS information, which is master file table record number 158, and the offset it's 161792. I will explain the offset in the next video. It's like, for example, this is a file, and this content of the hex is within the master file table file, which is huge. If you have a look at the root, MFT. There you go. The offset here, the one we saw, it's somewhere in between the master file table. If someone asks you to go to that offset, how would you do it? And that I will show you in the next video. For now, let's go back to our style.css file. And once again, it does tell you everything you need to know. And if the file ever been changed, if it is, then you could see it here. Is the file resident? True, which means it is a resident file. Once again, I'll explain the resident file and the MFT table in the next video. As you could see the master file table details here, but the one thing it doesn't show is how long is master file table. I want you to remember this because this will be using it in the next video to identify the offset. The master file table is always 1024 bytes, always. But where do you identify the clusters, or like logical sector or the physical sector? In order to do that, you need to go to the original file, and then you could see on the bottom of the view pane the cluster size, the logical sector, and the physical sector of the file. But one thing, if you realize, if you go to the resident file, you got the same master boot record number, you got the date, and the resident is false. It is not a resident file. I will explain this why it is not a resident file on the next video. And that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.